ladies and gentlemen. It is my proud privilege to present the theme of World Engineering Day today. UNESCO in their general body meeting way back in 1990, they happened to pass a resolution that engineering communities, their innovations must be duly acknowledged by the society, and that is how the World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development took the birth. And then this is the second in series which is going to be celebrated the world over. And today's theme, UNESCO has thought of build a wiser engineering the future. Now, it is a fact that science can amuse and fascinate us all, but it is engineering that changes the world. That is all said about the engineering community as a whole. And why the acknowledgement of their contribution? Because some of the, I am giving slides, some of the unique contributions in the respective fields which they have made. I have tried to show the bullet train, Burj Khalifa, Dubai. They are all unique flying cars which will be future system of Chenab rail bridge, Jammu and Kashmir. A unique contribution by engineers in Jammu and Kashmir. Apart from other monuments like Taj Mahal, Ajanta Loha, this Humayun Tomb, these are very unique architectural beauty of our country. Now, because I am using the word sustainable development, so development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This is a typical definition taken from Bertrand Commission report. Now, before I touch the topic, I must give you an overall view how this topic fits into the overall scenario. So I will be talking about sustainable development goals, because World Engineering Day is synonymous with sustainable development goals. So UNESCO is moving forward with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. And there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals which they call SDG to transform our world. So we call it Envision 2030. And before I go to the goal part, let me accept very frankly, when I happened to join Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh, way back in 1968, the typical type of question which we used to be posed by the village folks or the other persons, what engineer is supposed to do. So, engineer, a person who will, and for a very long time this concept remained, that a person who will look after, who will manage machine material and man-machine materials. That was a very traditional type of definition of role which we engineers were supposed to play. Little did we know that there will be 7 or 8 parameters associated with that. Minutes mean delivery schedule, management means administration, and other aspects which came up afterward as professional fields. which engineers were supposed to know it. Right or wrong, that's a different thing, how many people are exposed to that, but the fact remains today it is no more a definition, it is no more a concept that engineers are supposed to look after only man, machine and material. And now, as I coming back to the topic, now UNESCO has made 17 goals. What are those goals? Goal number 1 is that in the world, I want to give you a global view so that your minds do not get confined to your respective fields in which you are specializing, but to a global overview of engineering community. That is very important. Let me accept it, I was not told when I happen to be engineering graduate at Punjab Engineering College. So goal number 1 is there should be no poverty in the world. So this is a typical goal which they want to achieve by 2030. It's a big idealistic goal, but that is what the engineers are supposed to move toward that direction to achieve that goal. Goal number 2, zero hunger. All your effort should be concentrated that you remove the hunger from the earth. Good health and well-being. That is goal number 3. Quality education. I don't want to comment upon, but quality education is one of the most important things which we require as on date. And I have worked for a very long time, right from the beginning, with international standards. And I had the privilege to implement those, not only visually or academically look at it, I happen to implement quality management system, environmental management system, occupational health and safety management system, we have laboratories, NABL accreditation, number of standards which not only you should know it, you have to implement on the ground. So their quality education carries a lot of meaning. Only getting degree, a piece of paper does not carry any meaning in this world. Nowhere in international standards, there is no qualification has been mentioned. This is something very unique. They are only talking about whether the person is having knowledge, he is having skill, he is having aptitude, he is having attitude, and can he solve this problem. In case he cannot, he is not worthy of being called an engineer. Nowhere in all the international standards, which are the things, nowhere it is mentioned. So your qualification, whether it is from B.A.M. Khalsa College, whether it is from IIT, in case you have requisite skill, aptitude, attitude to solve the problem on the ground, you will be called worthy of an engineer. This is where the quality education matters. Gender equality. That means there should be, the women should be at par with male. Unfortunately, the world is dominated by male. How many times you have heard in USA a woman becoming president? None. UK, yes. Israel, yes. India, yes. Russia, no. That is what is male chauvinism. So they are talking that you must have by 2030 gender equality. That means 50% of the all top positions in the world must be occupied by female. That is what gender equality is all about. Clean water and sanitation. I will leave this topic afterward. Clean water and sanitation, very important thing. Okay? Affordable and clean energy. Look here. simple to hear. Every goal which I am mentioning, every goal which UNESCO has made, it is a field in itself. It is not that it is only 3 or 4 lines for academic purpose. They are fields, very extensive fields. They have done a lot of work before putting this goal. Affordable and clean energy, what simple thing. Yes, we know it. China has becoming second largest economy in the world. Yes, India is trying to become third largest economy in the world. But look at the pollution. Both the countries, they have contributed. Who is responsible for that? So we require affordable and clean energy to run. Decent work and economic growth. Yes, you must give due good job to every educated person, and your economic growth should not be biased in terms of few. Only 50 people in India, they are controlling the whole economy of India as on date. That sort of economic growth is not acceptable, but it is, in fact, it is. Industry, innovation and infrastructure. Yes, we require industry, we require innovation, we require infrastructure. Gentlemen, keep away your sentiments. Go to Amritsar, go to Ludhiana, go to Calcutta, go to Bangalore, go to Hyderabad, go to Kanpur. You won't be able to breathe properly. Go to Delhi. Look at the condition of Kejriwal. He runs to Bangalore for treatment. Is it the development we are talking about? Is it what the engineering community has contributed? What is their contribution then? So this is where industry, innovation and infrastructure, you have to focus very clearly. What exactly you want? What sort of contribution you are making? Goal number 10, reduced inequality. I have just mentioned, in case few people, they are very rich and GDP gives the wrong figure there, because 70% people are poor, below poverty line in South Asia and Africa. 70% people. What sort of equality you are developing? What sort of democracy you are talking? So reduce inequalities. Sustainable cities and communities. Just now I told you, I happened to go to World Standard Day in Ludhiana. It was raining. The whole Ludhiana was floating. I was to take my lunch. The person who was my host carried me to 7 restaurants. Whole Ludhiana was floated. I could not take my meal. That is what Ludhiana you have made. This is what you want before us. Go to Buddha, you see it, what is going on. That sort of engineering is not required by the world. Responsible consumption and production. Yes, we are becoming a consumer industry and we are producing. Engineer may produce, go on producing, but consumption pattern. Everything is fast. Good, very good. Where you will dump it? Where is the place? Climate action, one of the burning issue, I will discuss it later. Very, very important. Life below water. The coming years, your food problem will be solved by life under ocean. That will be bread and butter for us. And in case we just, and number of our coastal area people, they are living on these fish as a staple diet. Suppose they die, you will be in problem. So life below water. Engineers are supposed to know it, should know to act it. Okay? Because it will lead to more hunger everywhere. Life on land, which you are living, okay? You have to think of it. justice and strong institutions. Very simple to hear, soothing to our ear, but it means backed up with your judiciary, backed up with your high courts. Where they stand? Are they backing the vision 2030 in case our courts, high courts, all those legal institutions, they are overfloated with this, that decision, that decisions are not coming up. What is the use of that sort of judiciary to us? So UNESCO says, kindly situate in case you want peace, justice and strong institutions. The engineer community should think in that direction. Okay. Partnership to achieve goals. You cannot achieve your goals without inviting the other party. One few days back, you saw the farmers' agitation. I am also part of it. Very good. They have repealed all those legal laws. Good. But you have to develop number of storage in Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, UP, where government is not having that much money. From where the money will come? You will have to depend upon private partnership. You just cannot abuse them. You just cannot ignore them. Sentimentally, yes. But the fact remains, you have seen the condition of Food Corporation of India, the inefficiency. You have to build up your storage with the partner. I don't mean Adani, Abani, I don't mean it, but with private investment. So it means that. Now I am coming to the topic which is a theme, build back wiser, engineering and future. Let me be very frank. 6 or 7 days back, when I looked at the topic, I was thinking I will not be able to justify. But then I put 9-10 days to see to it that having the age of 75, but at least I must look at the facts, I must deliver to the younger generation all that I have known, and I went on, joined by worldwide, to try to cover up the whole thing. So basically, what exactly the expectations from engineering community, what the society expects from them, what are the societal demands from engineering community? They want that they should address climate change. Our Mother Earth is becoming warmer, and they have 6 or 7 international conferences to reduce that greenhouses gases. They are not coming to any consensus. They are passing a buck here, that country is passing a buck over here, that country is passing a buck over here. But that is not the solution of the problem. Solution of the problem, as the young girl, 14-year girl from Sweden, she says, he happened to even clearly say to the President of America, you are doing nothing. He happened to say to American Marshal, you have done nothing. You are ruining our generation. What complete steps you have taken? And this is where the engineering community is supposed to. Gentlemen, kindly see, number of your islands will be down the water. Bombay will be sinking. London will be sinking in few years. Islands here, Nicobar, Andaman, where happened, some of the islands they have already gone under the sea. Maldives will sink. It's a question of few years. You can't do anything because your climate, the glaciers, they are melting. Water sea level is rising. You will have to face the consequences. Kindly see to it that you control the climate change, which is a man-made. It is not sent by God, it's man-made. We have not bothered about Mother Nature. Developing technology for carbon-free economy. As I told you, go to take any bus in any city, which I have just said. You can't breathe properly, you can't sit in the public transport. Even in your own private car, you can't sit because smoke everywhere. In China, you go to the capital of China, Beijing, you can't see. All dust. Because this has a goal, and they may be controlling the economy as a communist country, but the common man requires something else. The common man wants that at least I must have clean air. And you go on generating pollution. I remember when I was serving near Tandari Kala in a steel plant, whenever I used to go here, cycle, from 1 kilometer I could see that dirty smell. Because whenever I used to bother where the water is going, no care about that water. Actually, today is one of the leading industrialists. How many people have died? Who is responsible for their death? Gentlemen, every child in Delhi is suffering from asthma. Every child, every fifth child. Same was the case near Ropad also, because of thermal plant. To ensure, so you require a carbon-free economy. To ensure cities are cleaner, more sustainable, smarter and livable. Smarter. They thought of, I think when this government came, smarter city, smarter. I haven't seen any city which has become smarter. Okay. So, but when you will have to work on smart city, kindly you implement, because that way you will be real contribution toward engineering and engineering community. To ensure everyone accessible to clean water and sanitation system. Clean water is not available. It is not available in a number of parts of the country, not only in India, African countries, a number of other countries. Clean water is not available. Kindly see to it that the engineering community built up better system in such a way that those persons they are accessible to good clean water and sanitation systems. Affordable health care, I need not to say. Access to cheap and reliable, I have already talked. Challenges posed by COVID-19 outbreak. Never we thought 3 or 4 years back there will be COVID-19 outbreak and people will be living in misery, old persons will be dying, persons with disabilities will suffer, and immune systems will be compromised. That is a fact. Today you have to think in that direction. That the consequences of over 8 million people they have died in the world. It is more than the people combined World War II and World War I. Social crisis demand. So what exactly changes the Soviet power, change in policy, otherwise increase in inequality, exclusion, discrimination, global unemployment will rise not only in this country, the world. So we require a need for plan of action. So that means the challenges, problems, issues which society is facing as on date, which must be in alignment with Sustainable Development Goals, which I just discussed, 2030. Demonstrate value of decision in terms of economic and financial returns. That means it must carry some value. Whatever decision you are making, it must carry some value, because on that basis only the investors, they will invest money for that. In case they not get any return out of it, why they will invest? So you have to see to that value of the decision which we are going to take. Tangible environment and social impact, I have already talked. Sound climate risk management, yes, I have already talked. Traditional drivers of engineering outcome must cover environmental, social and governance. We call it ESG, means traditional drivers of economy used to be quality, cost and this time. Okay, develop the building within this time that will. They say no, you kindly situate whether you have clearly saw the environmental aspect, social aspect, the governance aspect of it. People cry afterward your development. What is the use of that sort of development? And we have to, you as an engineering community, you have to find the solution. And that means the topic which I was discussing, real world problems, issues, challenges being faced by society as on date, which we call build back wiser, means you build those things wisely, better competence, synchronize it, those solutions with sustainable goals and development goals of UNESCO 2030. That means how you will engineer the future of the coming generation in an effective. So I have taken references from UNESCO website and UN website. In case you have any questions, you can pose. Okay, otherwise also you can write down. I will definitely give answers before I leave. And thank you very much for your
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for sharing your profound knowledge with us. The next distinguished to honor us with his presence is Professor Dr. J.S. Obi. He is B.E. in Electronics and Communication Engineering from Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Patiala. He is M.E. with honors from Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Patiala. He is PhD in Electronics and Communication Engineering from Punjab Technical University, Jalandhar. He has teaching experience of 25 years. He has attended and presented papers in various national and international conferences. He is Fellow, Institution of Engineers of India, Fellow, Indian Society of Systems for Science and Engineering. He is member, Institution of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, member, Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers, and member of International Association of Engineers. His area of interest is low power VLSI design and wireless communication. He has guided many research scholars and PhD students. Now I would like to invite Professor J.S. Obi on stage to add glory to the sensation.
Due to their health.